right, CV Max. He's already mind controlling them.
I mean, that is a very awesome CV Max quote, as we do get first pick. The Roths, the right of first selection, did go to DNS as the home team, and they did go for the first pick, and so DK choose blue side. But yeah, I mean, you know, funny quote aside, I do think it's nice that if he's telling the truth, that everybody seems to be on the same page over on the side of D+.
He's facing off against his former team, right, in the Supers now, and we just see that it's Odin who's kind of taken his mantle there, former Gen G coach who has a lot of experience. I'm looking forward to seeing how the meta develops, because right now almost every team has a very different idea. We're seeing the Malphite priority all over the place, sometimes completely ignored, sometimes slam-locked first pick. It's not working out so far. 0-2 here in LCK Cup. And we'll see if that is going to be baited here potentially. Sylas is still untouched in the draft. Both the Orianna and the Azir banned by D+ Kia here. And DN Supers with first pick, looking like they're looking for a Rise here with this Cassiopeia ban. If they ban the Rise and they're looking to put Pioshik on the Malphite, they can get it, but Sylas is still available.
Yeah, I think that's definitely going to be a big blocker. One thing you can do is ban Sylas and say, okay, if you pick Rise, we'll go for Malphite, but that's another risk, because then you don't have a real answer for the Malphite. So they're just going to go ahead and ban away the Nico, which has been a priority ban here at the LCK. Not a big surprise with all the great Nikos we do have, as Rumble is just going to be the first lock.
Okay, this does make sense. It's a lot safer, and the Vi still very strong, even though it hasn't been dominating the meta and pick priority right now. So that could be a safe follow-up here to this Rumble pick, but does mean the Rise is just kind of hanging out there. Feels fairly free to pick up at this point. And there's a lot of discussion about this one. Obviously, you can look for a counter pick for this Rumble as well. The Cassante has been one of the safer ones, and it's one that Shiyu does enjoy. Not going to opt into the Ornn this early on in the draft.
Nor the Ambessa, which has been a big pick for Shiwu. Just electing not to play that into the Rumble can be a bit iffy, especially early on before you get your Eclipse. And yeah, the Rise is definitely kind of the elephant in the room. I think you do have to pick it. Showmaker's fantastic at it, so just go ahead and slam lock that one in.
I mean, when you consider the Cassiopeia is banned by the DN Supers, and then the Azir and Orianna are already taken away, it looks like they just wanted to play Taliyah here, and they don't end up going for the Vi. They go for the Wukong instead. There's a lot of engage, there's a lot of pick potential in this draft, but Showmaker's individual performances, having one of the strongest mid laners on the patch, and arguably the strongest available with the Azir and the Orianna gone, and that Actualizer build running rampant right now, just sounds so terrifying to me that I don't know if the Taliyah is going to sell this draft for DNS for me just yet. And we will see, instead of a jungle pick here, the Yunara pushed up into this first phase so they can lock it in and make sure they have that power pick for the second phase of the draft. I think that ties in with the Cassante front line they've already picked up. Ryze also fairly tanky as a mid laner, and so they have a lot of damage output. They've got a good front line here. The DNS draft, on the other hand, a lot more pick and engage based.
Yeah, I definitely like that idea. Could have gone ahead and picked Malphite and then banned Sylas, but you know, then they would have to play Sylas as a support or something like that, so it could have gotten a little bit iffy. But they're just going to avoid the Malphite entirely, as might be one of those drafts you were talking about, Wolf, where they just do that on both sides. As Varus going to be banned away, try to make this lane a little bit easier for Smash on the Yunara.
Jarvan ban screams Sivir pick here.
Jarvan the third or Jarvan the fourth?
Oh, don't do it to me, Valdez. Jarvan the fourth.
I was just curious, you know.
Yeah, no, the fourth.
Okay.
The fourth. All right, yeah, that's the one. That's the one they banned.
And what happened to the third again?
You know, Sion.
No, it got assassinated by Katarina.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Sion was the second one.
I thought that was the first one.
I don't know the lore. Don't do it to me, Valdez.
I don't know the lore either, but I do remember that segment with Decon.
I'm trying to forget. Okay, so they banned Varus and Jhin, and the Sivir is still out there. It could be the pick that Duckdom is looking for here. We haven't really seen it too much in this region, but it is one that is very powerful right now, scales incredibly well. It gets a lot of value out of the changes to the AD carry role in general, and the wave clear is insanely powerful. Nautilus ban means, though, that you might be looking for something else entirely here, like Azeri. Just fight fire with fire.
We did see Nautilus jungle just yesterday, so even a double target ban against support and jungle could be something that Lucid was considering. You also have lanes like Lucian Braum that are good combos. You know, Braum very strong. Bard also very strong. I am curious if Life would elect to go towards that as Ambessa,
even though
jungle.
They are on blue side here. You know, they do have the counter pick for support, so they're not going to lock in something like an Alistar here. They're going to wait and see what the bottom duo is here, and it's going to be a Corki lane for DNS. This Corki Nami that has been popped up a little bit. It was Gen G who played this last with Ruler and Duro. And even though it's considered to be stronger with the Lucian pick, I think the added safety you have with the Corki's Valkyrie is just a little bit easier to get away than the dash from Lucian. Feels incredibly strong. He spikes really well on 2 items in this patch where you get a lot of gold generation. And Lulu is going to be a consideration here for career Enchantress support that will be able to go toe-to-toe in lane and gives this Yunara a lot of power. They do have that additional engage. Oh, they're going to flip the switch? No. I was going to say, look, I mean, the Lulu gives you a lot of engage on top of the fact that you have this Ambessa. Like, the Ambessa goes in, then you wild growth the Ambessa, and it's difficult to get away from her, and she can kind of skip the front line of the Wukong as well. So when you have that wild growth and you have the laning power there, the scaling of this draft here for D plus Kia is kind of insane. And because they get this Lulu through instead of something like a Nautilus, I don't think they were really planning on playing. They were considering, you know, an Alistar counter pick, but they end up seeing the Nami. They're like, all right, we go Lulu. They got lane power, so it's not like they're going to roll over into this Corki lane early, and they have scaling. DNS are going to have to be super proactive on the map. They're going to have to use this Taliyah incredibly aggressively. The Wukong can set up the Rumble for success in early team fights as well with the Equalizer, but it's going to be all about those combos because I do think they have some scaling elements here, but overall, the edge goes on the other side here to D+ in that regard.
Yeah, I would have to agree. I think especially when you got a guy like Smash on Yunara, it's kind of hard to bet against him, especially with the draft that's very much crafted around him. And you got such comfort with the Rise for Showmaker. It just feels like, you know, they're taking all the boxes over there. Obviously, DNS's comp also very strong, but yeah, I gotta side with the DK comp for this one.
This is very powerful, very straight up focus on Showmaker, who has been their best performing player so far this tournament.
Yeah, he's been fantastic. We'll see if he can continue with that streak of fantastic miss as we do hop onto the Rift here for game number 1 between D plus Kia and the DN Supers. All right, we got the fan chants out, Wolf. No interrupting just yet.
Not today.
Yesterday, you guys were losing it. It was a 4-game day, too. It was so short.
I know.
And you guys just lost it because of all the pauses.
I mean, the pause, the bathroom pause. Okay.
I was really enjoying it at home, at least.
It was, I mean, I know there are rules about this, and, like, you know, it has been, and maybe warnings have been issued behind the scenes, but just go to the bathroom for a song. I'm begging you, players. Because the casters don't get to go.
Yeah.
And, you know, sometimes if you don't go, and then the player goes, you're like, well, I might have to go later if it's a long game, but I don't get that option. That's not really the issue, but anyway. I went on a tirade already. There's, you know, another Pog State recording coming up. I can get into it more later. As this lane is going decently well here for Duckdom and Life. The Aerie taken on both Enchanters here as a heal will be used for tempo to get level 2.
Yeah, looks like they were going to hit it, and Career just kind of wanted to get in there and do a little bit of an extra poke and pressure. Lucid does not know that his jungle has been stolen. We do have Pioshik in his jungle, and just avoiding the ward entirely has been able to steal quite a lot, the Red and the Raptors. Now we got to trade in the bottom lane, and guess who's here? It's the guy who stole the jungle, Pioshik. Coming on in, Life is getting low, but Smash is going to be the first to fall. First blood given over to Duckdom, and now Career in a bunch of trouble, has to flash away, but Pioshik is looking for it. One more auto, and the red buff ticks away. It's 2 kills for DNS already.
Yeah, the red buff there, a big problem. He stole it away. He's got it available, and just a miscalculation. There's just no information about where Pioshik was. It's early pathing really messing up the game plan for Smash and Career because they were trying to get the tempo lead. They got level 2 first. They used the heal for that advantage. I mean, these tiny micro advantages are all what this bottom lane is about right now. We saw yesterday, the early heal at level 1 to try to just survive in lane. Those small little advantages. Look at the health advantage here, right? Well, that turret shot also I didn't see happen the way it did. Definitely doesn't do them any favors here either. If he doesn't take that turret shot, maybe he actually flashes and looks for an all-in onto life and is at least able to get something back. Career's flash here isn't going to stop Pyosik from follow flashing. He has the red buff, and we'll get that second kill there. Kind of a disaster here for D+, though, in the bottom lane to start things off. Great play from Pyosik, just completely unseen.
Yeah, this is what I was talking about with Pyosik. He did look great in the series against KT, and this guy is a veteran. I don't think we should hold last season against too many of these players that were on that team of DNF because it was a horrifying season, right? It was not great, and I just think that each individual player is better than what they showed.
I mean, there's a big gap in the grading scale between F and S, you know what I mean?
It's massive, yeah. It's actually the biggest gap it could be.
Yeah, so in terms of the naming, they're really trying to set that up, and hopefully the playback set up here too. So far, looking like a massive improvement, as Pyosik is going to continue to be a little bit annoying here. Did end up falling behind for that gank, as Lucid obviously instantly knew what happened and went over to take his quadrant around the blue buff away, so has a farm lead himself. Not a massive one by any means, though. As Rumble is doing it, Year of Doo-Doo, he is pulling it off.
Yeah, it's official, 2026. And Pyosik got his red, and now he came bot. The only issue is he hit the plants, and I think maybe that was able to give him away on this one. So they were able to push in the wave mostly and just back off. They don't really have the flash on Career, and got to just be careful there. Mid lane seems to be going swimmingly for both parties, just kind of farming away. Showmaker doesn't really care about a small trade.
Yeah, he went Ghost, which is the new hotness on Rise. And you press your Ghost, you press your Actualizer, and you watch the health bars disappear and run really fast because you already have Phase Rush. And you're just very difficult to stop from doing massive amounts of damage. You are a true AP carry, as Rise kind of always has been. Even like Tank Rise just becomes so huge later on, but it's going to be a big problem in this game.
Trying to force a trade here. Smash is doing a good job of that. Duckdom getting pretty low, but level 5 is Lucy. He's going to come in, steal the Gromp, and force Pyosik away. He's up a level with that gigantic farm lead that he does have. 20 CS ahead is
Almost
Lucid.
has his ult. Like, he is so close to it. If he had anything else he could take, he would hit it. He'll get it off this dragon. It won't matter anymore for this bottom lane, but this is going to be a plate at least here with the corrosion on this turret for Smash picked up on top of the farm lead he's going to get. So we'll get that corrosion proc there, the base essentially demolish, and then we'll get the first plate. So a lot of progress towards his quest, not to mention the gold that'll go over with it. They'll get this dragon, and as long as Lucid hits a smite button on this, should hit level 6. So this is a really nice start here on the bottom side, or I shouldn't say start, but comeback, so to speak. Big turnaround there for D+. And the gold lead, not as big as it once was for Duckdom.
Yeah, still just hanging in there. It's going to be fine. They were able to take a nice little trade as well and push Duckdom away. They had some support from Lucid, and Pyosik, after he went bot, he had to back immediately, and then he only had his top red side jungle to farm, and after that actually went down to the bottom side of the map as well, so kind of a lot of time wasted, which is why he did fall behind so far on farm, alongside of the Gromp steal, of course, that Lucid was able to find, so he's going to be behind the level. Wukong definitely wanting those levels, but still at least able to put the bot lane ahead. His bot lane ahead, I should say. As Duckdom on Corki is, we haven't really talked too much about it, but Duckdom very quietly has been just really awesome and was a big part of the reason why KT Rolster was able to make Worlds Finals and KT were able to have that run.
Some would say he was elite. Some former members of the LCK broadcast doubted that.
Yeah.
And no longer with us.
Yeah.
As
Rip Maurits
is going to come down here again. He now has his level 6. He's got his bottom duo with him. This is a favorable position for them. Lucid obviously knows about this, but they just don't have damage to challenge. It's just going to be Pyosik also has smite advantage, taking this away.
Yeah, nice smite timing. He's able to get that one going. The slows do come in, but Smash, I think he was holding a wave under his turret, so he was just farming that and couldn't really force a 3v3 in their own jungles.
Yeah.
Nice read by DNS to pick up the red.
Almost would have liked Smash to just hard push that and career stay with him instead of trying to challenge, because there just wasn't really an option to challenge there. Don't forget, Closer also has Weaver's Wall. It didn't have Prio, but I don't think that fight was ever going to be winnable, especially without Smite for Lucid. As Dudu is really running this lane up here, but doesn't have kill threat, did not opt to take the Ignite that we've seen a lot of other Rumbles take so far on this patch, even as far as the season opening event. Lucid going to get some revenge here, it looks like, and get that blue buff away, as these junglers have been at each other's throats, but the farm lead still remains heavily in Lucid's favor here, which, you know, doesn't necessarily always matter, but could be important for an upcoming objective if he does end up getting his quest completed first.
Yeah, allows you to sprint around the jungle with that blue pet that everybody is going. And both Lucid and Pyosik have picked up this time. Xiu trying to make it the year of Xiu. We'll see if he can do that, as the knockup is going to miss. As we said, it is the year of Dudu. And Lucid, he took the dragon. He's looking to take this other epic monster objective, and that's going to help push his quest even further ahead of Pyosik. If he can do that, it looks like Pyosik was able to spot him, but will not be challenging this objective, as the bubble has to be flashed. I mean, Duckdom and Life are really putting on the pressure.
Life has hit so many of these bubbles. Like, he was able to hit the Aqua Prison on Smash earlier during the All-In as well. Smash didn't flash it, but it meant that he could have flashed it. I don't think it would have necessarily had a kill, but because he didn't flash it, like, he just was able to escape there. They were able to get away without any real big issues, and now Career is flashless again. Feels like he just got it back. It's a really frustrating scenario here now, as we do have in the mid lane, both mid laners heading back in here. Closer didn't have to teleport, so that's pretty huge for him. And it's been, like you mentioned, like, both of them are doing fine. You know, it's kind of going as you'd expect. We haven't seen any big global ultimates out of these mid laners just yet. Duckdom and Life did get the advantage here. We'll grab an extra plate off screen, but you could hear that audio cue there.
Just a little bit.
And so that's pretty good for them. This game has been very quiet outside of that initial play from Pyosik. We've had a lot of games just kind of blow up in the bottom lane, and we've had games end at this point, basically, because of the lead that's happened. This is one of Showmaker's quieter games that he's had, even though he is the solo gold lead for his team right now. He's playing Rise. He's got, you know, his Catalyst online. He's going to be solo killing anybody anytime soon. Speaking of solo kills,
now gonna ult on in. Will Xiu staying right outside the range of the turret as well. Looking for the knockup. Forces the flash. Nicely done, as Pyosik also forced the flash. Did take the Krugs away from Lucid, but he's not gonna like that trade, having to flash away. Now, Lucid down his ult, so maybe can't do too much down here, but still going to make his presence felt in the face of Life and Duckdom and try to get Smash to his first item.
I mean, Yunara can operate so far away in team fights, and so having that flash to extend your already quite large extension, or engage range, I should say, like that missing extension on top of the Warrior Trickster for Pyosik is going to hurt if he wants to take the AD carry out in an upcoming team fight. Does have flash and barrier available as well for a potential scuffle around this dragon, or later on Herald. So that hurts. It stings for Pyosik there. 2 flashes down. Really proactive plays here from D+. Down 1,000 gold in this one, but it doesn't feel like they're in any way down and out, because they've had so much control over these objectives, and they are looking to contest this one as we speak, potentially here.
Yeah, we'll have to wait and see, as Career forced to kind of face check that one. Smash taking a bunch of damage himself, wants to trade it back, has to dodge the bubble, does it very nicely, and gets on in, but still liking the position of Duckdom and Life. We'll see if this breaks out into a full fight, as this dragon is getting low. They're going to engage on a Lucid, who just gets wild growth. And now Smash going to push Duckdom away. Lucid still just fine, winning that trade against Pyosik. Showmaker, though, getting very low on the left side of Pyosik. Gets the drink, immediately goes down, and Closer is there to follow as well. And now Showmaker is getting in, as one by one the dominoes fall. As the Slurkle actually kind of predicting that Valkyrie away, but it's just going to be the 3 kills. DK will take it.
I'm not 100% sure, but I think Life was able to interrupt the Realm Morph there, which, as in his dying breath, was able to save Duckdom, and maybe Duckdom could have gone out with Flash, doesn't have to Flash. But watch the combat power of this Yunara at this stage in the game versus a Corki. Like, Smash can kind of just hold his own drop barrier, do tons of damage here. He has the Lulu to back him up. hits that arc there as well. And so Duckdom just can't really do anything in this fight. Showmaker's untouched on the other side. The focal point here for this Wukong that's flashless is the dragon. He gets his price there. There's that bubble onto Showmaker, which prevents him from realm warping forward. So that saves Duckdom's life and his flash. But at the end of the day, a big win here. The swing of gold is definitely felt as it goes back into D+'s favor. Now, DNS did get the dragon, and that was their initial set. That was the initial objective they were looking for, but I don't know if they're going to be happy with the result with this. A massive swing of gold, especially onto that Yunara.
Yeah, a couple of kills going to Smash. One did go over to Lucid, who I believe did have his Eclipse done for that fight. I'm not sure if Pyosik did, but we'd have to go back and check the item spikes to know 100%. And yeah, it just felt like they were sustaining a bit more. That extra bit of damage from the Yunara was just a little bit too much, and it does feel like Showmaker was able to do a bit more sustained damage than the Taliyah as well. And Pyosik also kind of had to overextend just a little bit to try to get the Drake and put a lot of damage into the Drake to try to last hit it, so he didn't have that for the champions instead. Just a lot of little things, and DK did get ahead because of that. And I really do like how much presence Lucid is showing here on the bottom side of the map. It feels like he is always here, knowing where his bread is buttered in this meta.
I mean, this Lulu pick makes it so that they can play this way, and he has certainly been, you know, outside of the one time Pyosik caught him off guard and took his camps away and then caught the bottom duo there, he's kind of been camping this lane and making the most important lane get to where it needs to be for this composition to work here for D+. Taliyah gonna Weaver's Wall up here. I don't know if he can do anything to this Cassante.
He's gonna get that slowdown and still holding on to that as he finally does, but she was just too low as he's able to avoid the knockback there. The seismic shove, but it was still a kill. I like what she was doing, trying to put on pressure by proxying and denying Dudu access to the wave, but against a Taliyah it can be very risky.
Yeah, I don't think they're going to be able to necessarily make this cross map work. 5 seconds till that realm warp is up. Couldn't do it during the Taliyah wall, but now it does have it at the ready, but it's too late. They're going to get a plate, and I think they have to back away. Closer is ready to intercept. Dudu's getting a plate here topside. She was not up for 5 more seconds here, so just really nothing in return for D+ on the play. And that risky play from Shiu goes punished. And finally we see the Weaver's Wall in full effect here for Closer. Just finished his Seraphs. And it's a game that has kind of been a little bit of tug of war, but it has also been very even. You know, like we're seeing back and forths here, and both of these comps scale well, but I have not yet seen DNS set up the true combo, right? Like we haven't seen proof of concept and what their coordination is going to look like in team fights. But they've kind of done everything else that they want to do with this comp really well. Pyosik's early game was fantastic, but when we get to a certain point, the Yunara is just too big to fail. Lucid is going to look for an angle here.
Lucid's so fast, sprinting out of the jungle, just able to get in his face. As now they're trying to turn onto Life, who is in a bunch of trouble. Pyosik does get here, but immediately Lucid goes in, and look how gigantic he is with the Wild Growth. Nobody can touch him. Pyosik just on the run. Duckdom has to flash and barrier, and Showmaker is also so fast. Movement speed is pretty huge as, yeah, he's going to deny that disengage cone and pick up the double kill. And just like that, DK find another good fight.
That was pretty smart from Duckdom, knowing that maybe if he takes this angle, he could get the double cone out, but Showmaker reads it, follow flashes, super patient with his flash usage there as well. Does not let Duckdom mind game him and takes out the kill.
Dudu's in a lot of trouble here. Getting ganked by a Lulu as the Glitterland slows him just enough. That really obnoxious slow, and she was going to pick up the kill as the Year of Dudu will be put on hold for now.
Yeah, unfortunately, not exactly what he was looking for. Notice the 1,400 gold lead now for Smash, who does have his Fiend Hunter bolts after this play here on the top side. I mean, Showmaker gets the Realm Warp off here. Life cannot get away. There's no way to stop the ultimate there from Lucid. The Wild Growth is insane. Gives him so much sticking power here to chase down Pyosik. And then watch Duckdom. He's like, okay, if I go down here with the Valk, then I could double Blast Cone, right? Showmaker says, nope, not fast enough. Follows it there for the flash, and then unfortunately for Dudu here, he gets hit by the Q3, and the Lulu is just heading straight down. He does not read this well. And it's just going to be eventually Career to come down and scoop him up.
Yeah, kind of a very awkward spot for Dudu to be caught in, as he was very far down the lane and he got stuck there for so long because it is Cassante and you're going to get TC'd for basically 8 hours. So not much he could do, and eventually the Lulu gank is enough to just hold him in place for the Cassante. And yeah, I still just keep going back to thinking about this Lulu and Bessa combo that you talked about when we saw the draft. We're seeing it in action, and Lucid, he got Eclipse, and he's just untouchable. Like, the shields are insane. The wild growth on top of it is insane, not to mention the CC chain.
I mean, think about this comp. The only bad target for wild growth is Lulu herself, but she could even use it as like a flash engage tool and safety. Weaver's Wall can't stop me!
Career has a career in professional driving if he ever drops out of League of Legends.
Yeah, I mean, he was just like, all right, nice wall. How long was that cooldown? And so that is going to be this turret under siege here. And with the turret taken in bottom lane, Shu is also just going to rotate up here. And I think they should be able to secure this, and maybe even more.
Yeah, I'd be very careful if I were DNS. You can see that they are not going to overextend, but yeah, it's just kind of trying to stop the bleeding, but not really doing a good job of it, as Showmaker's getting free time up in the top lane to take out this turret.
He has his Realm Warp, so they're like, oh, we need to defend mid. He could Realm Warp over, but then they send everyone over to mid. They don't defend mid, and then Showmaker just gets this turret anyways. You could take turrets out so quickly on this patch, in this meta, and mid laners, you know, like Rise, don't even necessarily have to take teleport because of home guards, getting them back so quickly. Not to mention the empowered recall that he didn't have there, it looks like, but will have a lot of the time. Can get resets and quickly rebuild that one back up. He's 4 stacks away from his Rod of Ages. We have this Rylai's build here for closer. It's not the burstiest Taliyah. It's a little bit more utility in this one. It's going to be in that Duck Dom, who's so far behind, needs to do heavy lifting, and Dudu
Ghost is OP when it's Rise who's sprinting at you, and Career with another gank. I don't think Showmaker really needed him, but that's going to be an assist picked up for Career. And yeah, Dudu down his flash. Thought he would be okay, but these long lanes against Rise and Cassante are just so punishing from behind. It's very difficult.
I just don't know what you can do at this point to get back in the game, because your Corki is just a paperweight at this point. Your Taliyah doesn't have map control to play through. Use the Weaver's Wall to try to deny a Herald charge, which didn't even work. And now, I mean, topside is just a mess.
Trying to get on top of Showmaker. He just Realm Warps away, as you mentioned, and Lucid was right there alongside of Career, so that combo's very ready to go. Really like how D plus Kia were able to just take a couple of advantageous fights and immediately turn this game into an almost unlosable position.
Yeah, I mean,
very good snowballing from them.
It's really just at no cost to make these plays happen. We have this much map control, and you've already done the heavy lifting on the outer turrets. You can just commit multiple people and don't give DNS any ends. And Actualizer's on the way. Showmaker's got both components here. He just needs to finish the recipe, and then he's going to press whatever hotkey he's got that on, and the enemy champions are going to disappear. He has so much damage at this point. His Rod of Ages isn't even complete. When that hits, he's going to hit level 16. Like, look at his experience right now. He is almost level 15 already. So he'll hit 16 off the Rod, and we're going to see some big fireworks, I think, to end this game, Valdez.
Yeah, it's not going to be pretty. And just now, Duckdown was able to hit his second item and upgrade it to the Muramana. So the Corki's online. Question is, it feels way too late. And the question is, you know, will it be too late? I think it definitely is. Shiu is on the bottom lane, just kind of getting plates here as well. Dudu just desperately trying to clean up the wave and stop the bleeding.
Thanks for the free equalizer. He's a level up. He's had so much extra time in sides. Is Smash going to look for this all in? Or at least defend it, you could argue. Does end up you know, dropping his barrier there, but I don't think he really cares. He's 2 levels up now on his opposition. And Career's just here with Wild Growth, loses that ult. They're like, yeah, you want to play this fight. You think you can defend, you think you can walk through that brush. You're about to find out you can absolutely not do that. Showmaker also has his ultimate, so he can join at a moment's notice. So DNS just kind of have to sit back and like put their hands up and try to absorb the punches that are coming through here for D+. This really isn't a battle they can take at this point. There is no fight that makes sense for them. They just have to stave off the pressure, and they're likely just going to have to give up Soul Point here. That's the next spawning objective in 30 seconds. Baron could be on the cards here for D+ as well, and that's where they have all of their focus right now in terms of vision control. But that Dragon, I mean, DNS have no one anywhere near. Like, they can't even imagine contesting a Dragon right now.
Hey, remember that Duckdom and Life got ahead, but now it's Duckdom who's down, about a level and a half in terms of XP value. Total gold going very much into the hands of Smash and Showmaker. Duckdom not too far behind there, but you can still feel the difference.
Look at Showmaker's face. That's the face of a man who just built an actualizer and who just hit level 16.75 with his Rod of Ages. He is ready. He's like, oh, you guys think you could fight for this dragon? Let's find out how that goes for you. As, by the way, Shiu, who has teleport, is like casually just whittling away on this turret and come for a flank. This is such a difficult situation to pilot for DNS. The Weaver's Wall has to somehow cut this team in half, but they got to find a single target. Showmaker may be that target, or maybe not.
Yeah, they were thinking about it. I think Showmaker's just too fast. It's really difficult to actually collapse on him without hard CC, and the only hard CC they have is Pyosik, basically, that's reliable.
Yeah, I mean,
so
they got his ghost, and that's all they're going to get. Now they're going to try to rush this dragon down and hope that maybe Pyosik could do enough damage alone. Shiu is just waiting. He's 2 levels up.
I mean, they have position on the dragon, but they are being flanked by Showmaker and Shiwu, who are just looking to break down the front door. Now, the equalizer pretty good for zoning, actually, and they get the objective bounty as well, so nicely played. DK trying to force the fight. It's not going well for them, as the kiting now is not good enough, as there's the engage, the Ambessa on the back line with that wild growth, and just like that, it's not even dominoes anymore. Everyone is just falling all at once. Dudu is down. Pyosik, will he get away? No, he will not. The flash comes in. I think that's just the game. In 24 minutes, they're going to try to push bot.
Well, they got the dragon. That was quite miraculous. Good job on that position on the equalizer there, Dudu. It got them the dragon, but as soon as it was gone, Smash said, I'm going in. Lucid starts it off, has that wild growth combo. Smash just follows up incredibly well. He's got his Fiend Hunter bolts at the ready. Kraken Slayer set, doesn't even need his 3rd item. Doesn't care about it. And these turrets are gonna fall as D+ cut through like a hot knife through butter. He respawns here, but it's gonna take some heroics to defend this Nexus.
They didn't really have to go for this, but I think they feel strong enough to just go ahead and send it, as now trying to kite back. Pyosik getting super low to Smash and Showmaker, and just disappears once again, and nobody has the damage to deal with Lucid, as we have seen time and time again, just endless shields. As Dudu comes in, the equalizer's there once again, but yeah, the hero Dudu once again will be delayed. Triple kill for Lucid, and that is the Nexus falling at 25 minutes.
Only halfway through January. It's okay. It's still early times. A Cassante that's super tanky, so you just end up having, it feels like for closers, so little agency. This comp isn't a straight-up pick comp. If they picked Vi instead of this Wukong, and Pyosik did a lot of stealing of camps, but he's not doing a lot of damage to champions in this game. Maybe Vi sets up the Taliyah better for picks, sets up the Rumble better. The Wukong just did not work out for them this time around.
나 럼블 쪽 볼게.
한 번만 밀려나? 나 떨어지면 좋은데 진짜.
나
나 밀어볼게.
풀었어.
앞라인부터 와야 돼. 야 주고 쌈마 주고 쌈마.
또 싸움. 이따 올려 봐도
천천히 봐도 돼.
천천히 리턴이야. 이퀄 없어. 야 난.
나좀 빼면서 할게.
발가 봐도 돼 지금부터. 내가 한번 볼게.
나 한번 들어갈게. 나 한번 들어갈게.
그렇게.
야나 구조. 들어가자. 다 이겨.
아 밀어 얘기해. 야 괜찮아. 럼블.
아 바론 가자.
야 바로. 럼블 잡고.
야 끝나냐 바통 가면?
바텀 가자. 야 바텀.
아 펜타인데.
펜타 올래?
왜냐면 안 돼?
아 좋아요.
야몸 좀 대봐. 이거 그 타워 탱가지고 와봐 룰루.